I saw this tweet recently and it was so real. It said, you know, it's a great album when it peaked at number 2 on the Billboard 200. Exactly. Exactly. Blackout has to be Britney Spears' best album. Super consistent. Piece of Me was just a really great song about, you know, everything the media's been saying about her, of course. Give Me More was a hit. Toy Soldier, Heaven on Earth are very underrated songs, and it's not my stand by that. Why Should I Be Sad is one of my favorite Britney songs of all time. It's just very experimental with all the electro pop going on there. Shout out to Danger, shout out to all the other songwriters on the album. It's just really a fascinating landscape to listen to. Very experimental, very cool, and very consistent at the end of the day. So, you know, did what had to be done and everything. And I believe Billboard like changed the rules like before she released this or whenever she did it. So she didn't hit number 1, unfortunately, but it's a cultural staple for us all, and the influence and just how great it is cannot be said enough. Mileycyrus, Plastichearts. Yeah, this is Miley's best album, and her new album was a disappointment, but I'm not even gonna get into that. But my favorite song on this album is Hate Me. I love Plastichearts, the song, quite a lot. Prisoner with Dua Lipa was a really great collaboration, I think, and they both brought a lot to the table in regards to that. And so, yeah, I think that she really mastered the rock sound on this album. I want her to do more of this. And that's it. Christinaaguilerastripped. Listened to this one recently, quite enjoyed it. You know, Can't Hold Us Down, Little Kim, great song. Get Mine, Get Yours was really fun. Walk Away has a really jazzy feel that I like. Fighter is a classic. Think it's a little bit too long. I'm going to do a review of it on my YouTube channel, Anastasia 25 in depth in the next couple weeks. But, you know, good sophomore album. You know, the point of this was her being like, I'm not going to be Britney 2.0. I'm going to be me. And, you know, it was a good result. You know, I respect it. amywinehouse, Back to Black. Yeah. Yeah. The title track is amazing on this, of course. You have Rehab on this album. I believe this album had some Unholy War on it as well. Yeah, I don't think that I had any skips on this album, just hit after hit after hit. I remember liking Pink Print for what it's worth, but I haven't listened to it in years. And then the rest I have not listened to, but you know, I think I'm gonna make it a goal to listen to all these albums this year. The Lana Del Rey, you know, I don't know. I don't know, because you guys, I don't really like Lana Del Rey that much. I listened to a few of her albums. Maybe this one is good. I don't know. But I'd like to listen to the rest of these. And then, of course, I can't finish out this video without sharing one of my favorite albums that peaked at number 2 on Billboard. Mariah Carey, Rainbow. If you follow this account long enough or the YouTube channel, then you already knew this was coming. I feel like this album is underrated in Mariah's discography. You ask most Mariah fans what they think of it, they're going to say it's one of her worst albums because they don't have taste. But, you know, those who love the youth, the fun, you know, this album feels like going to the beach. And just, you know, I mean, look at the album cover. Look how vibrant that it is. You either get it or you don't. I'm not going to hate on fun. I'm not going to hate on fun. People might clown me for liking Rainbow, but, you know, she had hits. 2 number 1 hits in Heartbreaker featuring Jay-Z, which was the most expensive music video at the time. It cost like, what, $2.5 million to do that video. The remix with Missy Elliott and a Brat was phenomenal as well. We have to talk about that. Ex-Girlfriend should have been a single. I don't care. Her and Candy wrote a hit, and I really enjoyed that song. You have Bliss. You have Crybaby featuring Snoop Dogg. You have, you know, Can't Take That Away, which is one of my favorite Mariah songs. And Columbia just did this album so dirty in terms of the promotion. I don't even want to get into that. But especially that song, one of my favorites. But yeah, a great album. I feel like half the hate it gets is because it came after Butterfly. Nothing she released after Butterfly was going to be as good as Butterfly because that is her best album, you know, overall. But, you know, she literally only had 3 months to record this because she was trying to get out of that label. And I think for what it is, I really appreciate it. I think if you go in just appreciating the fun that she has on this album, the self-growth, the great songwriting, great production, then you will appreciate it. You know, she has the bops, she has, you know, the ballads on here as well. She has some great mid-tempos. She has everything that you want from her. Always been one of my favorite Mariah albums and will continue to be. And I have a TikTok already prepared going on this album track by track, so stay tuned. Then I figured that I would throw in Janet Jackson's Damitajo into the conversation. This album was blocked from number 1, but Usher Confessions was sold over 1 million first week. You know, shout out to him. I really like this album, though. You know, Thinking About My Ex is my favorite song on the album. A lot of people don't care for it, but I'm never going to be one of those people. Oh, She Ate, and I really love the bridge. Shout out to Babyface for writing that song. All Night Don't Stop should have been the lead single. I don't know why they decided to just go ahead and push the single that they did. It just was not a good song, and you know, I stand on that. And I think that's because it got leaked, but you know, y'all should act like it didn't happen. I don't care. The song shouldn't even make the album, let alone be the lead single. Then you also have R&B Junkie on this album as well. Island Life. Yeah, it was a good follow-up to All For You. Really quite enjoy this album. So yeah, this is just a fascinating discussion, and I knew I wanted to talk about this at some point because I feel like some people get so hung up on like, oh, my album didn't go number one. And yes, it's nice to have a number one album, but what's more important is that the album stands the test of time in pop culture, that it's influential, and that it's something that people can call back to. Some of these albums, people are calling back to them more than the album that went number one. Like they can't even remember when it went number one because the number two album was so impactful. So I think some people get hung up on it. I think that it's a great topic, but yes. Let me know some of your favorite albums that went number two on the Billboard 200 down below in the comments, and let's continue that discussion.